Hello, I'm David Cheston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of a rise in wholesale rates. But first, Greece will submit a request to the Eurozone later today to extend a loan agreement for up to 6 months. However, the EU paymaster Germany says no such deal is on offer, and Athens must stick to the terms of existing international bailout. I suspect we are now getting close to someone blinking. Staying in Europe, Swiss prosecutors have searched HSBC's offices overnight after opening a criminal inquiry into allegations of aggravated money laundering, the second probe to hit the bank this week. This probe completely undermines the bank's claim that such practices were in the past. Across the Atlantic, producer prices recorded their biggest decline in more than 5 years in January, of minus 0.8% on plunging energy costs, pointing to a very benign inflation prospect for the US in the near term that could argue against raising interest rates. Also, American manufacturing output rose modestly in January and not at all in December, potentially worrying signs for their economy given that the recent strength of the US dollar in weaker overseas markets. And continuing the theme of flat news out of the US, housing starts fell in January as groundbreaking for single-family homes slipped, but they're still at fairly healthy levels. Closer to home, yesterday's purchase of Australia's toll holdings by Japan Post will be at the centre of one of the biggest and most important corporate transformation programs in Japan, and which will also have implications for how the country's financial services industry works. We should expect to see more Japanese buyers in the takeover market in the years ahead, pumped up by Japanese stimulus spending. The US Treasury 10-year yield has extended its now growing string of rises, as it now at 2.12% today. Yesterday's local swap rates played catch-up on previous rises with a markedly steeper curve. Given the further rises in New York earlier today, more rises locally are expected. The oil price held its lower prices overnight and is now at $52 a barrel, with Brent crude at $61 a barrel. The gold price, however, fell further and is now back below $1,200 at $1,198 an ounce. That puts it back to where it was when 2015 started. We start today with the New Zealand dollar level pegging against the US dollar at 75.2 US cents, 96.7 Aussie cents, and the TWI is at 78.6. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.